You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
We're excited to kick off our first ever road tour, visiting some of the top shops across the country. Come along as we give you a behind-the-scenes tour of some of the most successful lawn care, landscaping, and hardscaping operations and facilities and see how their businesses operate. This shop tour is brought to you by our great friends at Steel, Equipment Defender, Cujo Yardware, and Yardbook. We know professionals like you trust and rely on the tools and equipment to make your business a success. And our tour partners mean business. Gear up, lock up, lace up, and line up your business for success with our 2022 Shop Tour sponsors. We'll be releasing new podcasts and YouTube videos every Monday for 8 weeks as we take you across the country on this incredible tour. Check out the full video tours on YouTube at Brian's Lawn Maintenance and catch the podcast every Monday. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, and today, really excited about this guest interview that we have that we recorded live all the way down in Colfax, North Carolina, with none other than Mitchell Gordy of Mitchell's Lawn Care, LLC. I was actually able to go all the way down to North Carolina, spend the day with Mitchell and his girlfriend, Hannah. They are just a really cool couple, really class act. Got to see their brand new pole barn, their brand new custom-built home. Got to see some of the equipment that they have, this beautiful gym that's actually built inside of the pole barn, and so much more. Actually, while I was down there, got to hang out with Lamont Harrison. We got to hang out with Dixon, Tyler Dixon, a couple other guys. It was just a really, really good time. Went and got some barbecue, and they showed me the local eateries, local fun places to hang out, and it was just a really, really good time down there in North Carolina. So this is actually our fifth show, or our fifth tour, if you will, on the Shop Tour series that we've been doing across the Fruited Plain. So my goal was to, a lot of you guys are growing your companies, you guys are growing your businesses, you guys are looking to make a home base, rent a shop, rent a building, build a building, find a company headquarters, ourselves included. Once we start and break ground on the home, and as soon as we have that wrapped up, my goal is to build a pole barn as well. So I'm going around the country, kind of selfishly even, and kind of getting like the 411, getting the behind the scenes sneak peek, the scoop about how people have their shop set up, how they have everything organized and situated, and where's the air compressors, where's the electrical, where's the water hookups, and a little bit of everything in between, right? Storage lockers, storage, pallet racks. And so hopefully you guys have really been appreciating the Shop Tour series. I'm having a blast going around the country, recording these for you guys. And you know what? Here's one thing I will say, though. They're not free. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, flights, travel, gas money, fuel, food, hotel stays, time away from my actual lawn and landscape business where we could be mowing grass, slinging mulch, doing the deal just like you guys are day to day. So I really do want to say a big thank you to the show sponsors and the tour sponsors, Cujo Yardware, Equipment Defender, Steel, and Yardbook. So if you guys are looking for a new trimmer, blower, maybe look at Steel. If you guys are looking for a great CRM, Yardbook. Of course, the Brian's tent works on CujoYardware.com, the lawn care shoes, and then also at EquipmentDefender.com if you guys want some trailer racks to outfit your next trailer setup. So we just want to say a big thank you to those guys. For real, it really goes a long way to have those guys support and sponsor the tour so we can run around the country and film these for you guys. So here's the deal. We have Mitchell Gordy and Hannah. They are on deck, so we're going to cut to that interview here in just a quick second. If you guys get home later tonight and you want to see the actual visual, you guys want to see the actual shop tour, I invite you guys to come over to Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel and check it out. This one was about a half hour long. It's really well thought out. Mitchell is cerebral. He kind of reminds me of Andy Mulder. It's thoughtful. It's cerebral. It's very, engineered to a science. He has everything out where he wants it to be, and just has a beautiful brand new steel building that is just first class through and through. So without further ado, let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors announcements, and then we're going to jump right into this interview with Mitchell Gordy of Mitchell's Lawn Care, LLC.
You know the name, Equipment Defender. Now experience the safety and security for your lawn care setup with Equipment Defender trailer racks. These lockable trailer racks are designed to keep your equipment organized and secure without breaking the bank. Upgrade your setup and protect your investment with trailer racks that fit any style of trailer, both utility or enclosed. These E-coated racks are built tough to withstand the elements, all while working hard to keep your equipment safe and secure. Put an end to unnecessary equipment damage and theft today by investing in quality trailer racks that you can rely on. Use the promo code BRYANS10 to save 10% on all orders today at equipmentdefender.com. And a link is provided in the show description. Equipment Defender. Running a successful lawn care and landscaping business means you are working hard and smart. You're smart about investing in equipment to grow your business, to be more efficient, go the distance, and take more on. Cujo Yardware is working hard to provide you with the absolute best footwear options to help you get the job done. You want efficiency? Trash the grass-stained athletic shoes that fail on slopes and dew. You want to go the distance? Forget those overkill boots that weren't built for the yard. You don't have to choose between lightweight comfort or water-resistant traction because Cujo Yardware was built for you. From the comfortable yard shoes to the tough X1 landscape boots, Cujo selected the best quality materials to optimize the performance and satisfaction of lawn care professionals. While you focus on laying killer stripes, Cujo will be there every step of the way. Check them out at Cujo.com, Kujo.com.
All right, guys, we're jumping right on into it here with our guest today, and that is Mitchell Gordy with Mitchell's Lawn Care LLC over here in Colfax.
You finally got it right.
I got it right, man. It's been like the 17th take, but any which way.
Yeah, good job.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir. And I appreciate your praise because coming from somebody of your caliber, that means a lot.
It means something.
It means So you guys can probably tell we've already been yucking it up here for a little while now. I actually took a flight here, really early flight to Washington, D.C., which actually I got to fly into D.C. Have you ever flown into D.C.?
No, I've driven through it, which is horrible. I'd
Really?
rather fly.
I've never been. I saw the Washington Monument and I think the Capitol building.
Nice.
I was like looking around out the window. Like normally I don't care when I'm looking out the window, but this time I was like, oh my God, look at that, because I've never been to DC. Then my plane was 15 minutes late taxiing off the runway to the gate, and I almost missed my connection. I was like, hey, Mitchell, I might not. And then backspace, because I was the last person on the plane. And they were like, now all passengers paging Brian Fullerton. So swear to God, I was like, yeah, I'm your guy. So my gate was actually 54 and my connecting flight was gate 50. So thank God it was like right there in the main little circle of the court of the airport. But anyway, nonetheless, we're finally here in North Carolina, hanging out with Mitchell Gordy, continuing the shop tour series. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying these. I know I have. They've been a blast on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching all the content, supporting all the content. And also, if you guys have obviously connected the dots, Mitchell's episode is going to be dropping tonight, depending on when you guys listen to this episode. So we just got done filming that here. We did a full-blown, like 30-minute behind-the-scenes look. Now you have some videos on YouTube, but yep. I think we went like through everything here.
Yeah, a lot. Well, mostly what's documented on my YouTube channel was like, the construction aspect of it, breaking the ground,
yes,
building, all that stuff. And then there's been a little bit here and there of the inside, but I don't know when this is going to go live. But
yeah,
we're getting ready to put out another video, Hannah and I, diving into some construction that we've done here inside. So
it's awesome.
They can tune in and check that out.
Well, before we get into it, why don't you get these guys up to speed, including plugging your socials so they can find you, so we don't forget at the end. But give them like maybe we call it the highlight reel, maybe 2 minutes. Where are you guys at? What's your background? What do you do? And then what are we doing here today?
So highlight reel, lawn care business here in Colfax, North Carolina, 13 years in business, and completed the construction of the shop right at a year ago, and started a project inside doing a little home fitness, home gym area. So building
put Lifetime Fitness to shame.
A dream oasis here for Hannah and I and friends.
That it is.
But yeah, just made a dream come true. So and anybody out there can do it, and I like to showcase it. It's not to say, oh, look at me. It's just to show you that you too can accomplish goals if you put your mind to it.
I love it. Well, we just did a shop tour here. Like I said, it was about a 30-minute long video, and I'm just looking at the place right now. He's got a 24-foot trailer in here that has plenty of space all the way around it. You're just building the dream. So it's one of those things where a lot of you guys listening in, maybe it's just me, but I know a lot of you guys also listening in want to have your shop one day, your dream shop, your dream building, whether it's something on your property or a standalone building, something that you own, and then maybe one day have just real estate portfolio. I was talking to some different folks that they own the buildings and they own the land, and one day when they might get rid of the business or sell the business off, they have 10, 20, 30 years of real estate after that they can lease the building back with. And I'm like, genius, great play, So some people are playing life in checkers, other people are playing in chess. But over here, beautiful shop, beautiful setup. We got a nice, probably about 78-degree day today, beautiful sunny day. You got this big fan. By the way, we got to plug the fan.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the video yet, in the center of the shop, mounted up on the ceiling, obviously where ceiling fans go.
I think it's the biggest fan I've ever seen.
I've got a 14-foot industrial fan made by a high-performance fan company. So it's a 5-blade fan. Again, it's 14 feet in diameter, and it like right now I've just got it on the half speed, and it moves some air.
Well, and funny, you have this like mezzanine level. You guys got to check out the shop tour. It's really, really cool. 40 by 60.
50 by 60.
50 by 60. Check out the whole shop tour later tonight, maybe when you guys get home. But there's this mezzanine level, so I'm up top, and the blades are like 6 feet from you.
Yeah,
up on top.
Close. Yeah, a few feet from your head. Yeah.
I'm up there, and it's a safe position. You're not gonna like get your head chopped off, but I don't know if you peek your head over, it just might.
Well, normally, these large industrial fans, and there's other brands out there, the big A fans and stuff.
Sure.
There's many different brands and manufacturers of these things out there, but 10 times out of 10, these industrial fans are meant to be mounted high. They're in high ceiling industrial buildings, stuff like that.
Which this would be.
Yes, they're not meant to be close to like your ceiling fan in your living room. So when you're actually like that close to something that's 14 feet spinning, 14 foot in diameter spinning, it's
like a windmill.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah,
it's like I'm holding the rail. You remember the moment you were down here, and I'm just like mesmerized by this thing, and I'm holding the railing, and you're like, "You're all right." I'm like, I'm just like in this trance, bro. Like it's just whoosh, 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 and I'm like, I don't think I've ever been this close to a friggin' windmill, which is your fan. Is 14 the blade or is diameter all the way? Is that
total circumference of of it all put together? That I don't know how long the airfoil blades are on it, but the circumference of the fan is 14 feet from blade tip to
so
blade tip.
Is that like half, I don't know, radius pi squared?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
This is the one time math would have actually served me well. I need a 12-foot fan, sir. You need 14. Okay. It's awesome. So give us a little update. Some guys know you, some guys don't. Podcast is growing like crazy. Actually, last month we had 95,000 downloads, up from 75,000 downloads the month before. So the podcast is blowing up. So a lot of new people listening in. Obviously, a lot of guys are out there mowing grass. You guys are doing landscaping. I don't know about you guys. I just like listening to something encouraging, positive, productive while I'm out working. So you're doing the same thing. You're over here in North Carolina. Give these guys like the lay of the land, maybe the last couple of years, what your business look like, and what do you got going on this year?
So for anybody that's new listeners to your podcast, they can go back and check out an old episode that I've kind of gave the whole rundown of the who, the what, the where, and the why. But here in the last couple of years, I've been doing the solo owner operation thing and just doing it part time. So I'm only servicing properties once a week. It leaves me some opportunity to do some subcontracting stuff, other days in the week, and help out other contractors in the area if they need something. Whether it be mulch delivery, stone delivery, tractor work, whatever like that. So and then I'm also full time law enforcement officer. So someone asked me the other day, what's my 5-10 year plan, and I just want to maintain. I'm happy where I'm at. I did the whole scale thing, and it worked for 4 years, and then it ended up turning into like a stressful mess. And money was good, but it wasn't worth the stress. So I scaled back, and life's good, and I'm just gonna ride it out right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got a great thing going right now. You already know that. You just built your house as well on the front part of the property. What did you build? A lot of people listening, they're home people, and they want to build their custom home one day too.
So we built like a 2-story. I would call it like a traditional, brick style home, and roughly 3,200 square feet. We built it. It's a little bit bigger than what Hannah and I need, but we wanted to host friends and family, and have a good time and have space for everybody to come over during the holidays and whatnot. So that finished early December 2021, and we moved in right before Christmas.
Wow, there you go. So you guys had your first Christmas here?
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Good for you guys.
So it was, we were living out of boxes, and the joys of moving.
One tree, that's about the only that's put up.
Yeah. Oh no, it was like the Charlie Brown ranch. Yeah,
that's awesome right there. And it's funny. Like I was telling Mitchell, I'm like, I think you're just 2-3 years ahead of where Liz and I are at, because I'm like, Mitchell, tell me this, and how did that go? And I'm just picking your brain, and it's funny because like. You don't want to bother somebody, but I'm like, Mitchell, what about this? And then like you and Hannah both light up like a Christmas tree, and you're like, oh my God, like, how did you know that? Or how'd you pay attention to that detail? I'm like, well, we're about to do the same thing. And you're like, well, here's our thought process. And then, 7-minute rabbit trail, about why you picked the appliances you did, or the finishings you did, or you guys actually really optimized the kind of like the dead space, if you will, of a house, like the framing or like the roofs and stuff. And you have all these little bonus rooms.
That was the number one thing with our home. We have a smaller footprint because we talked about this. It's cheaper to go up than it is to go out.
100%.
And if someone doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's like foundations are expensive, concrete, all that stuff. So you can reduce your footprint. Let's just say you want a 2,000 square foot house. If you do 2,000 square feet one level, it's going to be more expensive than if you do 2,000 over two levels.
Right.
So anyways, in a 2-story home with, peaks and stuff like that, there is void space in a home under staircases and here and there and stuff like that. So anywhere that we could, we moved a wall, opened up a space or something like that, and utilized pretty much every inch of space that we could in the home. So it created some nice little nooks and crannies here and there.
Do you have any videos on the YouTube channel of the house?
Not yet. And I've actually had people messaging me because in other videos we hinted towards it.
Okay.
But moving in is hectic enough. And then we started the project in the shop. Hannah and I both work like 4 and 5 jobs between the two of us.
Sure.
So sometimes life just gets in the way, and then you realize, holy crap, 3 months have gone by.
Sure. Well, I remember watching one of the videos you guys did when all the bricks got delivered. And Hannah was leading that video and talking about all the different bricks and how you guys are going to brick the whole, outside of the house. And I think that was the last video I saw. That had to have been
there's
6 months ago.
There's videos up to, I think, when we had sheetrock or paint. So there's almost finished, but not furnished. So we do need to do an update video.
Are we going to get a grand tour?
Yeah, so we can do it.
Everybody bug Mitchell on DM on Instagram. Like, hey, where's the house tour?
Please send me messages.
Well, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're building my dream here, because Liz and I want to build the custom home. We should be breaking ground on that here later this year, and then hopefully the year after, break ground on the shop and the place for the business. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like living vicariously, and I'm like, dude, this is awesome. So I'm like, Mitchell, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And you're like, hey, do this, or hey, don't do that, or hey, we should have did this, but we didn't do that. We were just talking about trenching, a Comcast line or a internet line for the warehouse or your barn over here, because there's poor internet, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, that's one thing I would do different, but it's always fun to learn from other people's mistakes, right? Not only in lawn care landscaping, but almost any other area, right? So for the folks that are new to the show, that are just picking up, we do have a couple good episodes with you. I know we did one 2 years ago. We did the Green Industry Hype House. I think we had you on maybe a year before that even.
Yeah, it was early on. A couple years. Right when it wasn't long after you started the podcast.
I was going to say, you probably have the top, like you're probably the first 20 or 30 episodes.
Yeah.
Your whole story. But you give these guys up just to lay the land if they're new. So you were a trooper for the North Carolina Highway Patrol, and then you tell the story. So you got a pay freeze, or what, wage freeze?
Yeah. So just in a nutshell, I got in with the patrol in 2006.
Yep.
So anybody that can rewind back and remember, 07, 08, 09, we were going through a recession, and a lot of guys were losing jobs. Men and women were losing jobs left and right.
Yep.
Fortunately, I was in I guess you can call it a recession-proof, career. But they froze our pay increases.
Sure.
And starting early on as a first responder, pay ain't great. It's not a get-rich job, career, and we all know that. You're a civil servant, but when they freeze your pay at like rookie pay, that's not good, you know?
It's not good.
So I was like, all right, I'm not just going to sit here and twiddle my thumbs, you know, and I had dabbled in lawn care before. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to start a lawn care business. And that's what happened. And then, you know, fast forward a few years, ended up going full time and with the lawn care business, and then fast forward a few more and kind of come full circle and back solo.
So one thing that I get a lot of folks that reach out, maybe you guys even listening in, you guys are firefighters, EMT, paramedic, you know, whatever, you know, a little bit of everything. First responders, military, all those. Actually, I had a lady that sat next to me on the airplane, Mitchell, and she was a really nice lady, and she goes, you know, you do the whole, what do you do? What do I do? And she's like, oh, I was in the Army for like 27 years or something like that, and then retired, and she's doing some stuff in DC or whatever it is now. And I went, cool, like awesome. And she goes, are you in the military? Because I opened up my bag of chips and I said, there's like 11 chips in the bag of chips. I mean, it's like, there's no food in there. And so I go, they want to give you 11 chips on this flight? And she goes, you must be in the military. And I go,
I don't count chips.
I don't count. Yeah. I go, what? And she goes, that's the first thing we notice is the food. And I'm like, all right. So I don't know. So she was a really cool lady. And I go, yeah, I thought I was in the military for the longest time though. She goes, why is that? I'm like, because my parents always called me a major disappointment. Dude, this lady laughed. I think 3 states over, you know what I'm saying? She's still laughing. She's like, that's the funniest joke. I've been in the Army for 27 years. I never heard that joke. I was like,
good one. I never heard that one.
So
that's a good one.
I got my dad jokes, I guess. But one of the things I was going back full circle to a lot of folks that are in law enforcement and school teachers is we had a guy on Mike Garvey, coastal, I think, fertilization over in New Jersey, and he does a lot with FERT. So he is working with, I don't know if he's a police officer or a trooper, I forget, but his schedule wasn't very conducive for mowing. Okay, so I was like, hey, do you follow Mitchell's lawn care? And I don't know if he did or didn't, but I was like, Mitchell's got a really crazy story of like small business, big business, back to a maintainable small business. And that was one of the things he had mentioned why he didn't get into lawn care. Because everybody wants their lawn cut, every 7 days?
Yeah,
Schedule, right? So he goes, with fertilization, it's got to be between every 25 to 35 days. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I wonder if Mitchell could do it all over again, get in the turf treatments, because it's a little bit more forgiving of an industry in terms of scheduling, right?
Yeah, flexibility.
Yeah, for those. So tell me really quick, for all those guys out there that are living on a prayer, how did you make it work? Or did you just realize like the juice wasn't worth the squeeze? There's no right or wrong answer, but how did you... That's the biggest question I get from those guys is scheduling. How did you schedule your stuff when you had a pretty demanding career?
Is this with the solo aspect or like when it was full time?
Do both, because I mean, some of the guys that are police and troopers, they have 2-3 guys working for them. Well, and they got a $250,000 business.
Yeah. With being a first responder, days, nights, weekends, holidays, all that stuff means nothing, because we work 24/7 around the clock.
Yeah.
There's 24/7 coverage. With that being said, you work nights, you work weekends and all that stuff. But for the most part, your schedule is structured and you're going to be off days during the week.
Okay.
When most folks that work the normal 9 to 5 in the office aren't, they're off on Saturdays. But regardless, whatever you do, it doesn't have to be first responder. If you have let's just say full-time job.
Yep.
And it's not in the green industry or whatever, you might do windows or pressure washing, but I managed the company on the days off that I knew I was going to be off, and I structured my business around that, and I didn't make any promises to customers that I couldn't keep. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's huge.
So
that's huge.
Now, I couldn't be that. We all know there's customers that mow my yard. I want it on Thursday.
Yeah, on Friday.
I'm not your guy. Mow my yard on Friday. I'm not your guy, because 2 weeks from now, I may have to cut it on Wednesday or Thursday to fit my schedule.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
that breeze is nice, by the way.
It does. It's nice when you open the doors up.
Yeah, because no heater cooling in here, but you can get that fan, but you have the garage doors with the pass-through open. You know what I'm saying? It gets a nice breeze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no joke.
That's not bad. That feels nice.
But, a lot of it comes back to the open line of communication with customers, and anybody that was new coming on, I told them like, hey, this is the deal, and not to sound like a jerk, but like, this is the deal, either accept it or you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Did you get any pushback from that, or people like, you know what, you aren't my guy?
Some, and it was mostly male property owners, they're like, I've got to have my yard cut on Friday morning,
right?
For my cookout that I have every Friday evening, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. I'm not your lawn care service.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? And I got other guys I could refer you to.
That's cool.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's other people out there that they don't give a crap what their yard looks like as long as it's green.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So did you do a lot of times where you're mowing it 6 days, other times 9 days?
Yeah. Like I'll even tell you, let's talk about right here, right now.
Yep.
I'm on a 4-week rotation with the patrol where I have 2 weekends off.
Okay.
And then I work 2 weekends. So with that being said, 2 weeks in a row, I do my lawn care on Friday.
Okay.
Okay. So the following 2 weeks, it's
Saturday.
on Wednesdays.
Okay.
So now there are days, okay, well, if you cut grass on Friday and then you go to that transition week,
Yeah.
now I'm cutting on Wednesday. There's really not
A lot of growth.
too many days between that. There's not much growth. But like I said, open line of communication, spoke to my clients, hey, I'm going to mow 2 Fridays, 2 Wednesdays, 2 Fridays, 2 Wednesdays. They know that they accept it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they're cool with it. It also allows them to be, it's like a hybrid schedule.
Sure.
It allows them to do stuff because they may not want me there every Friday.
Right.
Maybe they got something planned and now I mowed their yard on Wednesday and they can plan to have something going on Wednesday, Thursday.
Backyard barbecue.
Yeah. And they don't have to worry about me showing up.
Baby shower. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
That's cool.
it's been working out great. I mean, I started that this season. So,
Yeah.
rewind back to February, March when we started.
Well, that's one thing too. Where did you find a bunch of help when you had a bigger company? Is a question I get a lot too. Because here's the thing:
Winging a prayer.
What's that?
Winging a prayer.
Dude, you ain't kidding, right? But that's the truth. Like when you're 18, 19, 20, you got all your buddies, your high school buddies, your college buddies, your brother, your sister, your cousins. Everybody's the same age as you, right? Obviously when you turn 30, they're all the same age as you. But my point is, when you're 30, your friend group goes from 20 friends that you all play basketball, hockey, baseball with, down to at 30 you have like 5 friends.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you don't want 6, and you're like, if 4 happens, you're like, it is what it is. At least it's just me. I'm not into like making a bunch of new friends. Like I like making my internet friends, but in real life, I have my circle. Okay. But that being said, I get a lot of guys that are 30, they're expanding business and they're trying to find people. So I don't know if would you say a wing and a prayer?
Wing and a prayer.
What's a wing and a prayer?
It's just a saying, man. Kind of like.
Is that a Carolina term?
It's just.
I'm getting another nod from somebody else.
Kind of like throwing a dart at the dartboard. In the
living on a prayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but no.
I feel like Paul Jameson over here, learning new things.
Yeah, when the first years when I was solo, I had enough business to keep me and a helper busy. So it was 2 guys 1 day a week.
Sure.
And it was easy because I had other troopers that I worked with, that were on my schedule, and they were willing to, help me out, make an extra buck.
Yep.
When I transitioned to full time, then I had to, access that that employee or crew pool some other way, and it was basically like word of mouth. Like, hey, who do you know that needs a job? And of course, this was before the world ended a couple years ago and the employee crisis and all that crap.
Yep.
So things were a lot better than they are now. And then I actually had a lot of good luck with like Facebook job offers.
Oh, cool.
So. Still having to go through the whole interview process.
Sure.
But I was able to find some pretty decent guys through that as well. So overall, man, like I feel like I was blessed compared to some guys, because I know some guys, they've been put through the ringer with crew members.
I hear it all the time, yeah.
And I had a couple, I'm not going to say like I had some issues, over the 4 years I was full time. But for the most part, man, I got pretty lucky. I was blessed.
It is a tough conversation in industry where it's like you were saying a minute ago. If you have just enough work for you, it's cool. But when you go from, let's say 40, 50, 60 accounts is kind of like a full-time solo outfit is what I've noticed. Depending on yard sizes, obviously. But then what happens when you get like 80, 90 lawns? It's like you and a guy.
You need somebody.
But then you need somebody, right? But then what if that guy quits? Because now you're screwed doing 90 solo, and it's impossible. I've been there 100 times, where like I'd hire these baseball kids, great kids from about May to end of August, and then whatever the weekend is, first weekend of September, they all go back to school September 2nd.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I still got 8 weeks left of the season, and I'm like, hey, when you're like done with school, like come help me after 3:00, and they're like, dude, I'm in Saginaw, or even back in Michigan. I'm 3 hours away, 2 hours away. If I ain't coming back to help you mow for 2 hours in the evening and finish up. So I'm like, crap. So I've done the work 12-hour days things from September's and October's more times than I can imagine. So it is a tough thing to navigate. I don't have a perfect answer for folks. It's like, because then, like you said, the alternative is you went full bore. I'm going to get enough work to hire 2-3 full-time guys. So, so is that one way that you, was it like did you intend to get as big as you did? Or was it like just keep these guys on a full 40 hours because they made a commitment to you?
I didn't intend for it to scale to the point where, because I had 3 full-time guys.
And you do a couple $100,000 in revenue just to be out there.
So I didn't intend for that to happen.
Yeah.
But, if there's a recipe for it, it's communicate, do good work, and look good at what you do. And I promise you, that's your marketing scheme right there. People talk, and word of mouth is the best marketing tool in the world. I'll argue all day long.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And that's what happened. We did good work. We did what we said we were going to do. We did it when we said we were going to do it. And, things just, started snowballing.
Yeah.
So,
and you get some big accounts back in the day too from another
episode.
Yeah.
I was focusing on, our bread and butter was like HOA common area, commercial contracts like that. And, we still had a couple of days of residential in there because, you got to dabble in residential, because these big CEO owners and, the who's who, they have homes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, that's how I landed a lot of my deals was, cutting homes. And then they're like, oh, you do such a good job at our house. How about this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then doors opened.
Yep. I was just listening to a little bit older episode by the time this comes out, probably about 6 weeks ago, Mike Bedell and Paul Jamison's episode. And Bedell was talking about how he's got some pretty wealthy clients. And I know who they are, actually. He didn't drop them, and I'm not going to tell who it is, but you would know them. He said on the podcast, you know who they are. You would definitely know who they are. But it was interesting because he's like, referrals from wealthy people to wealthy people is how that like upper echelon works.
Oh, yeah.
They're not just hiring Chuck in the truck or even Brian's on maintenance to come mow the grass. Like you have to be like invited into that, those circles and to even come on the property. And I remember somebody telling me like, I bumped into a guy and he was mowing lawns for extremely wealthy dude. And they actually knew the kid because the dad was mowing with his son and the son was like, hey, this is where so-and-so lives. And so the dad goes to like somebody on the property like, hey, is this where so-and-so lives? And they go, why? It was like a billionaire family. And the next, 3 hours later, a security team from the house called and says, don't ever call and don't ever talk to us again about anybody who lives here. Nobody lives here. Mow the grass, shut up and leave.
Wow.
But it's like wild stuff like that because they don't need people asking questions, So it's wild out there when you get into that echelon of clients. But like you said, those people know people, and you can go from 50 to $100,000 a year in business to several hundred thousands because they have multiple sites, multiple businesses, maybe multiple properties they want maintained.
Oh yeah, easy.
So that was something that you cracked the code on, which is awesome. Quick question for you: looking back on it, you've scaled the business way down compared to where it was. What was that like unloading accounts? Maybe finding something we've been talking a little bit, if you guys have kind of realized on the show or not, but better work-life balance. I'm all about the go, but I've just realized like I don't want to see people get divorced. I don't want to see people fighting. I don't want to see people missing family time and all that mess. And so you've scaled down to what you have found works best for you. So what was that last 18 months kind of tapering off, and what's your life like today compared to where it was 36 months ago?
Well, the scale down process has been a 2 years in the making because I didn't even do it right from the beginning.
Okay.
So from 2019 to 2020, which was full time to back to part time.
Okay.
My goal was no stress or to eliminate as much stress as possible.
Sure.
Okay. But I didn't do that because in 2020, I kept so many properties, I still needed somebody to help me.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So I was still relying on someone else other than Mitchell.
Yep.
And I was like, I think I can make this work. I hired back someone that had worked for me previously.
Okay.
First mistake. And then what happened in 2020 was, again, I couldn't handle the work I had. I had to have somebody. So, middle, 3/4 of the way through the summer that year, guess what? Flaked on me.
Oh, no.
So I'm going into the fall season, which we all know is busy, you know, aeration seedings, leaf cleanups. Guess what? Now I'm by myself.
Wow.
And
back to stressed out.
Yeah. So, I told Hannah, I was like, I'll work the skin off the fingers of my bones to make this work to get to the off season.
Sure.
And I did. I just sucked it up, manned up, did it.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, 2021, I'm not going to have that problem anymore. I'm not going to rely on anybody. So I didn't. I kept it. I reduced the properties down a little bit more, had it to where I could do a day and a half of work.
Yep.
And that worked great last year, but it still created some stress because, I was still spreading work out over a day and a half, then you have weather delays and stuff like that.
Rain day, something.
Yeah. So
equipment issue.
I was like, I think it'll be even better if I just went literally back to the way I started, 1 day a week, except only have enough properties that Mitchell is needed.
Right.
And eliminating the need for anyone to help me do my properties was the ticket.
Okay.
So I literally eliminated my stress by eliminating all employees. And it's sad that that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of the world we're living in right now.
So I if I don't feel well, I show up to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Unless, we all know there's sicknesses that'll keep you from going to work. But, if I got the sniffles, guess what? I'm getting your yard done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, some people just don't have that motivation and work ethic, and that's why they don't own businesses.
Well,
but
and I've seen that too. Like people are happier making 150, 200 gross, maybe solo, or even if it's 100 and they're making 40, 50, 60 grand, but they're happy. They can control it. They're out 4 or 5 days a week, and maybe they're just working less.
Yeah.
Like you can shift gears. You can go, sixth gear. You can go down to fifth and fourth gear. It's okay. We had a baby. I dropped down a gear on my YouTube content last year. We had a baby. Like it was completely life changing, and that's okay. So you went from second, third gear to sixth gear, and you're like, you know what? I like third gear. Mm-hmm. Third gear's okay. Like that works for you.
I'm not gonna lie, man. 2019 was my last full time year, and I really miss those $15,000 to $20,000 months. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
That's a game changer. Mm-hmm. Guys that haven't made it to that level yet, like a lot of things change. When you hit that threshold.
Yep.
And I miss that, but I don't miss the worry and stress that came along with it. You know what I'm saying? And again, it wasn't the work because, I'm like you and our buddy Lamont sitting over here behind us. We're not afraid of the job. We're not afraid of work.
Right.
It's the people aspect.
Yeah.
That's a pain in the butt. So, but I'm happier now with where I'm at than I've ever been.
Do you foresee yourself ramping up again ever?
No. Well, I don't say never.
Yeah, sure.
But
right now this season.
But as long as I'm with the patrol,
yeah,
I'm going to maintain where I'm at.
That's fair.
When I retire from the patrol, I got 12 years to go.
Okay.
I would like to keep the lawn care thing going and I'll say this, as long as the flame is there, as long as the passion for it is there,
sure,
I'm going to keep it going. And I still enjoy, I love getting out on the mower mowing.
Yep.
I don't give a crap if it's 95, 100 degrees. Like I enjoy being out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And even more now that these other windows of opportunity have opened up, social media related, because, you wouldn't be here at my shop if it wasn't for social media.
Sure.
Lamont wouldn't be here if it wasn't for social media. You know what I'm saying? So these relationships that we have built, these friendships,
they take time too.
It keeps that passion going.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll keep it going as long as I love doing it. So I'll leave it at that.
I like it, man. Well, and that being said, the obvious point that I want to just make here too is that like it's almost like you're criticized if you don't get on video, podcasts, anything, anywhere, or talking to your wife or your lawn bro and be like, dude, I'm up 10%. I'm up 25%. I'm making more money. I'm growing this thing. It's like very few people are like, yeah, dude, I'm actually like down 12%, but I'm happier and I'm not working as hard. And they're like, why aren't you working as hard? You're a loser. And I'm like, bro, it's okay to work less hard. It's okay to work. I know a lot of folks right now, here's the idea, work less hard, make more money because you scale down, you niche down.
Oh, yeah.
You know your service, your quality, your skill set, you can charge more. I'd be shocked to see if everybody listening in, I bet you could drop 10% of your customers and raise 10%, make the exact same amount of money and have 10% more time in your life.
Oh, yeah. Less headache.
I guarantee you everybody listening in has that kind of margin in your business. Oh, yeah. And I'm telling me too, I bet you I could lose 10% of my business by raising 10% prices, have some people fall off, do less work and make the same amount or more money.
Oh, yeah.
And all of you guys listening in, There's a good book out there called The Pumpkin Plan. It's basically that whole story. Like, double down on your winning horses. You know what I mean? And get rid of the fluff, get rid of the crap, get rid of the distractions. And I kind of feel like that's what you've been doing the last couple of years. I've watched you grow. I've watched the crews and the trucks on Instagram. I've watched you downsize to just the one truck, the one crew, the one rig. And there's no right or wrong answer except for what makes you happy. What's working for you?
I guess the most important thing is quality of life.
Dude, amen.
And I didn't even know what that meant when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
was just chasing a dollar sign. To me, quality of life now is more important than anything.
Isn't
know
that
what I
wild?
mean?
Yeah.
So I would, I would rather enjoy a day off during the week and, Hannah and I just randomly jump in the truck somewhere and spend the day together than stress over, man, I got, this to do, that to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
The quality of life is way, way more important, especially the older we get, man, because you realize, the older you get, like, the fast forward button gets hit. Like, it just seems like life gets accelerated.
Years go by, like, you snap your fingers and they're like minutes and days.
So, I'm turning 40 this year, and, like, that's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've got to the point now, like, I want to enjoy my days off.
I feel you, brother. I feel you. And you know what? It's funny you say that because we had Corey Ballard on the show just a couple weeks back, and there's every level, right? There's all different levels, and he's somebody at the very higher end of the levels of building bigger companies. And you know what? It's funny you say what you're saying because I was in the truck with him before we did some shop tours and some other stuff and podcast with him, and he said the exact same thing. He's like, Brian, the money's like cool. He goes, I got a check. I got this going on. I got this going on. He goes, I'm not any happier. He goes, you know what I like? Watching my kid, I think his youngest, do karate, and his daughter do karate. He goes, that's way more fun, way more cool. Mm-hmm. He goes, having another $5,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, it's not going to change anything. He's like, I miss spending time with my family, spending time with my wife. And I'm and it's like, I'm almost like, is he saying that? So like, I get it, or is he saying it for him? I don't know. I'm thinking both, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking to myself when I get home, dude, I really have been trying to focus more on spending time with my wife, spending time with my baby this last 8-10 months. Doesn't mean we don't have to work, right? We're all trying to grow a business. There's bills to pay. We got obligations. We got employees we want to take care of. But just my suggestion would be don't get to the finish line. And when you're there thinking everybody's going to be cheering you on and everybody that you love and care about isn't there because you lost touch with them along the way.
Yeah.
Right? Because you ain't going to look back as the cliche is and be like, man, I'm so glad I made X amount more of money and traded X amount of family time or friendship time away.
Oh yeah.
So it's a balance, but I think you found your zen space, your happy spot, and I'm excited for you, man. It's just cool to also have these other opportunities open up where I can come visit you and you're not, hey dude, I got to mow 12 lawns today. I got to mow 12 lawns. So it's cool. You know what?
Nice.
And the reason I say that is because selfishly, it's an opportunity to get you in the podcast and do the shop tours and help the next guy out.
Oh, yeah.
So help out the next 18-year-old kid, the 25-year-old guy, the 30-year-old couple that's trying to kind of grow their business and learn from some of the mistakes and successes you've had. So,
well, then there's a reason why we do this too, these interviews, and it's if someone can take away like an ounce of what I say,
right,
and learn from it.
Maybe
avoid going down a road that you went down, that I went down, that Lamont went down.
Yeah.
And be successful and have a good quality of life, then this interview was worth it.
100%.
To me, because I'm not about the numbers, like I'm about the impact. You know what I mean? So that means a lot to me. So I appreciate doing these things, man. I think it's awesome. So
I mean, we appreciate you taking time to do the podcast, but we already spent another 30-40 minutes filming videos. That's what we'll button it up. If you guys haven't checked out Mitchell's Lawn Care YouTube, make sure you guys go check out his channel, subscribe there, and then comment on his most recent video. When are you doing the show, the house tour? Brian sent me. So well, if anything, we'll just challenge him until he does it. We'll just keep bugging him. But so we appreciate the YouTube channel. He's got a lot of great equipment reviews, a lot of equipment that I just don't have or you don't see in my neck of the woods. He's in North Carolina, I'm in Michigan, there's 8 states in between. It's just different grass types, different equipment.
We put out pine needles.
That's what, dude, that's like the biggest scam I've ever seen. He takes me through, well, I'm not laughing. He took me through a Chick-fil-A, bro, and there's pine needles all over in the beds, and I'm like, they need to do a cleanup here. He's like, that looks fresh. They just installed that. And I'm like, they installed pine needles? He's like, yeah, that's big business down here. I go, bro, that's a leaf cleanup back at home. That's spring cleanup. He's like, we charge for, I go, you don't do mulch? He goes, we do pine needles. And I'm like, That's not a thing at home, but that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
It's just an option.
It's
an option.
It's an option. Jeremiah Jennings with the Growing Green Landscapes. You guys know Jeremiah. Him and I text back every day on Instagram, and he's like, doing another pine needle job. I'm like, people pay you to put that in? People pay me to take it out. So it's just wild. But real quick, we'll button it up right here. Mitchell's Lawn Care on Instagram, Mitchell's Lawn Care on YouTube, and then anything else you want to leave these guys? But if not, we'll button it up.
That's it, man. I'd appreciate it. You know, Brian, you're doing a great thing here, man. So I consider you a friend, and just keep it going, man. And then I think the next time that we'll see each other is probably Equip.
If not sooner.
It's so weird calling it that, but that's what it is now.
What a gay name. But any which way. And if you guys want to register, you can use code Brian or I'm sure Mitchell or MLC 10.
MLC 50.
MLC 50, is that what it is? I'm sure mine's Brian. Check it out. Support us, whatever. It helps us all produce all this content. But everybody's got a code. You have codes. What else you got codes for? You got codes for things that I don't have.
Well, I'll just leave it at this.
Yeah.
Check me out on Instagram. It's at Mitchell's Lawn Care LLC.
Yep.
You know, people always say, "Oh, link in bio." You know.
Yeah.
Just click on that little link and
you have a link
scroll.
tree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
We both, you know, and again, it's just so we can help people, man. If you get like a little kickback, you know.
Oh, thank God.
It helps us out too. So
I use so many people's codes, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
For lawn care or other industries. But yeah, MLC 10 I know is works at a lot of places too. So check out Mitchell, support him if anything you guys are buying, and we appreciate it. So all right, guys, well, let's do this really quick. We're buttoning up right here. If you guys get home later tonight, you flip on YouTube, check out Mitchell's shop tour. It is a 50 by 60.
50 by 60.
I got it right for the first time down here in Colfax.
Renegade steel building.
This red iron
steel.
It's pretty dope.
It's bad for cell phone service. It's not like a pole barn because of the metal building, the metal casing on the outside. It blocks out.
It's like a tinfoil hat.
It's great to be in if you think the government's listening because they can't.
There's no way that is getting in here.
Yeah.
It's a sweet shop. So we did a whole tour. By the way, there's also I think we can tease it now because this will come out a month after probably your video. But whole workout facility up here.
Yeah, there's a 2-story gym, home fitness.
Are you taking memberships or how does this work? Like $49 a month?
I think Lamont wants
you get the first one.
He wants to be my first member.
He's got his own Anytime Fitness going on over here.
Yeah.
Got to pay for this machine somehow.
But yeah, by now Hannah and I have already done an in-depth, detailed video on that. So check that out if you're into fitness.
Giving you a month head start.
Yeah.
I mean, so right after this is the house video?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go grab my camera right now.
All right, guys. We'll button up. Appreciate you listening in. We'll kick it back over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the podcast. Over the next handful of weeks, we still got 3 or 4 more shop tours coming down the pike. So make sure you guys check them out every Monday. A bunch of great guests and folks all over the country. And then also the shop tour, like I said, with Mitchell on YouTube, and also the playlist with all the shop tours that we've been doing. So, all right, guys. Well, over and out from this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. We look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
It's just 3 words, but they tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Why there are over 10,000 local steel dealers in communities all across this nation. And why we're putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. 3 words you can kick dirt on, drag through the mud, but you can't cover up. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
A majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally. We want to thank one of our presenting sponsors of the Shop Tour series. You know them, you love them, Yard Book. Whether you're just getting into business for yourself or you've been growing your company and need to get more organized, Yard Book is for you. A full-service CRM software to help you manage and track jobs, tasks, routes, and your billing all in one convenient web-based platform. And the best part? It's totally free. Take advantage of the CRM Brian uses to grow his business and take your company to new heights. Utilize their popular features like credit card on file charging, email estimate approval, and the new selling suite, fertilizer tracking, and so much more. Tens of thousands of law entrepreneurs just like you trust and rely on Yardbook to help them grow their company. So why not you? Sign up today at yardbook.com and don't forget to mention that Brian sent you.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.